Live. Come up in the chat room, everybody. We is live. We as live from the porch. Live from the porch. So come on in the chat room. Come on in the chat room. What's up, American Negro? What's up, Trey Day? My nigga Trey Day. What's up, Evan? The newly graduated motherfucker. What's up, B Paul? Yeah. Haney washed that boy. Man, that fight. Remember what we were just talking about recently? when you put our best versus their best, that's generally how it turns out. That's why Canelo has spent his career running from our best. The last time he fought a top level black fighter was Floyd Mayweather, and you saw what happened. ESPN, the WBC, sports media in general, they've been trying to keep away from those belts from the brothers. They don't want Tank getting a part of them down at 130, 135. They don't want that. They didn't want Devin Haney and what's his name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The other little mushroom head ass kid. Y'all know who I'm talking about. What's the other brother? I'm drawing Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson looking like a mushroom on Mario Brothers with a gap in his teeth. They don't want them brothers coming up there doing exactly what he did. You're right. You're right, King B. Next thing gonna say undisputed don't matter. I remember, I remember something my grandmother said. My grandmother said, if shit was worth something, niggas would be born with no assholes. You know, hey, these motherfuckers. They gonna say undisputed don't matter. And that was the thing. They had a friend. They created that franchise championship for Vasily Lomachenko. Devin Haney wanted to fight because remember Lomachenko was Devin Haney wanted to fight him, and they said, you know what, we're not gonna make you fight Devin Haney, so we're gonna create a franchise championship, and we're gonna basically hand this title over to Devin Haney, and then Lomachenko was running around like he's the shit or whatever. Then he got his ass whooped by Tia Lopez, and then Tia was talking about, oh yeah, I'm gonna fight Haney. Oh yeah, I'm the best. I'm gonna prove I'm the best. And then ended up fighting Cambosis. Remember they signed that $6 million deal with Triller to fight the Cambosis fight. The shit got delayed, and then Tia got his ass whooped. And then Cambosis, remember they tried to have Cambosis fight Lomachenko instead of Haney. But then that sorry ass if that war didn't jump out into Ukraine, that Ukrainian war is what stopped the Lomachenko versus Cambosis fight. They were trying to do a round robin to keep Devin Haney out of that. Then Devin Haney gets to Australia. They don't let his dad come to Australia because of a 30-year-old a felony 30 years ago. They put all that against that man, and he came out and washed that motherfucker. He washed that motherfucker. Washed him. And then you saw that jab where he was pumping that jab on him. Yeah. Every time Cambosis thought he was gonna load up and do something. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what was these judges on. Who are the two judges that had to fight 116, 112? Name one round Kambosos won. Like, name one time he even hit Devin Haney clean. Every so-called big hit Kambosos landed, Devin Haney had his glove right there. Block. But every time Kambosos got to loading up, yeah, yeah, I'm going to land this on your right eye, on your left eye, every time, nigga. Yeah. And then as soon as he thought that jab was coming, yeah, left hook. Left hook, one jab to the right to the body. Boom. Nigga. Well, that's how we are as a people, man. Like, when we are at our best, the rest of the world is just a half step slower than us. We are a half step ahead of everybody when we are on our best. Problem is, a lot of the times we aren't at our best. We're distracted. We're doing other things. You know what I mean? Or our focus is in other places. Or we aren't tracing our truest desires in life. We're chasing what someone else wants. So you can't be at your best when you're looking at someone at whatever gifts someone else has, and you're trying to be that. You can't be your best at that. You'll lose. They can beat you. But when you know your gift, when you know what you're good at, when you clear on what's right for you, and you give it your best effort, the rest of the world gonna be a half step behind you. Just like in this Kambosos fight. You saw every time Kambosos wound up to throw a haymaker at Devin Haney, this nigga ducked up under that, and he on the other side of the ring. The ref got to jump in, like, don't hit him in the back of the head. This motherfucker Kambosos shots ended up through the middle of the ropes. This nigga Haney done ducked through that motherfucker, shimmy, did a Michael Jackson spin, talked to the crowd, drank some coffee, and Kambosos is like, where this motherfucker at? What's up, G Mars? The ref, look, a lot of people, like my homeboy was texting me about the ref. I, the ref kind of had a hard job tonight. This wasn't an easy fight to fight to the ref because when they got locked up, they weren't really throwing to get out of those clinches. So the referee had to jump in. And then it was Kambosos was doing a lot of ducking. I mean, when he would miss, he would lean over and the back of his head would be open. And so you always got to watch out when a fighter has the back of their neck exposed. So I can't get too mad at the ref. If you hear a whole bunch of loud booms, let me tell y'all something. We're now in April. Let me tell you something about LA. No, we're in June now. That's what I was about to say, May. We're in June now. Oh yeah, it's actually a little late. I'm sure you may hear some loud booms tonight. That's because here in LA, usually lately starting in May, so they're a little late this year. We're in June. People getting their fireworks from Mexico right now. That's how they get in LA. And LA, the fireworks come from Mexico. People are getting all their fireworks from Mexico right now. So for the next month, all you're gonna hear is doo, doo, doo. I mean, these motherfuckers crack fireworks all night. And I don't mean firecrackers. I mean them loud ass M80s and them ones that go up in the air and do them starbursts and shit. So if you hear that shit, that's what it is. It's fireworks season. Like, what's up here, 2500? It used to not always be like this. It used to not be like this, man. Like it used to be. You started hearing the fireworks that week leading up to the 4th of July, like last week of June, first week of July. You hear like a bunch of fireworks. Now these motherfuckers get going into May. Somebody gonna set some shit off. You're gonna hear car alarms going off. And the closer we get to the 4th of July, it's gonna be more and more of that shit. You said you went to a private festival and they had cannons? Where the hell was you at? This nigga was going where the cannons were. Shit. Nigga, was you at a Pirates of the Caribbean party, nigga? This motherfucker was, you was over there kicking with Captain Jack Sparrow. Talking about some cannon shit. Nigga, is you the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, brother? What's up, Dev? Pirates, and they had cannons. This nigga said, did you carry a knife in your mouth and a patch around your eye? Hardy har har. This nigga said they had cannons. Man. tomorrow we're gonna have Randy Short on the show. I'm gonna have Dr. Randy Short tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about music. Dr. Randy Short gonna talk about the black, influence on Caribbean music, and we also gonna talk about like our influence on British music. Yeah, we're gonna get all in that. What's up, Mark by Smith? We're gonna have some real deep talk on music tomorrow. But that's the thing, folks. Like, hit y'all questions in the chat room. Hit y'all questions to it, okay? When's the next Instance and Ashtrays? Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I think I'm going to go over the music of Gamble and Huff tomorrow night. Since this is Black Music Month, Gamble and Huff are a major reason why this is Black Music Month. So I think tomorrow we're going to celebrate the Gamble and Huff music catalog. That's what we're gonna do on Instance and Ashtrays. And then in the morning, me and Randy Short, we're gonna talk about our Black American music's influence in the Caribbean and in England. And we're gonna talk about and he looked over my tree, and there's a couple. It was like one genre I was missing, and so I went this shit I got the tree redone. So that's the reason why I haven't put the tree up for sale yet, because I put it out there just to get people's feedback and comments and see if I missed something. Because when you're doing something this comprehensive, it's so easy to miss something. And on top of that, the music tree doesn't cover every genre. There's too many genres to cover on one tree. But it does cover the major genres and the major subgenres of those genres. I have all of the major genres and all of the major subgenres. Some of the lesser known subgenres I don't have on the tree. Yep, Philly Soul. Yep, the Rolling Stones were a Muddy Waters cover band. Yep. The Rolling Stone was a Muddy Waters song. They literally named themselves after Buddy. Like, I don't know how. I don't know how black people we really don't understand how important Chess Records was to the whole scheme of things in music. We really don't understand that. Chess Records is Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Bo Diddley, Etta James, what's his name? Played the harp. Little, y'all know who I'm talking about. Look him up. He played the harmonica. Little, drawing a blank. Um, drawing a blank. But that sound out of Chess Records, out of Chicago, but most of the musicians were out of Louisiana, in Tennessee and Arkansas and Alabama, but they recorded in Chicago, and that music really set off the whole movement in England. Yeah, Little Walter, yeah. Chuck Berry is part of that. Speaking of that, like people are talking about R. Kelly, they put Chuck Berry in jail too for some lying ass sexual allegations. That's a whole thing they do with black people, black especially black entertainers. And like this was something I was trying to say on Craig Facts the other day. Those my niggas, but there's some dumb niggas up in that room. I swear to God, I love my boys. But there's a couple of motherfuckers in there that got it's certain things you say, you be like, God damn, that shit went over your head. Nigga, no. You gotta catch that one. It wasn't a high throw. You gotta catch that throw, brother. But Little Richard came up with the whole. Now, if Little Richard was really gay or not, I'm sure he probably was. He never, really talked about it like that. But Little Richard, the whole persona wasn't born out of a sexual preference. The persona of Little Richard was born out of being non-threatening. The whole persona was, to be a black artist and to come in as a male, as an alpha male, with your chin up, is to not sell records. Like you'll do good on the chitlin circuit, but if you want to sell records and travel the world with your music as a black artist, you cannot be threatening at all. So you have to play up the femininity in order to cross over. That's what Little Richard was doing. Little Richard was an act. Little Richard was an act, and it's two things Little Richard did that made him sell so many records, and it pushed him ahead of other artists who were doing the same thing. One, he effeminized himself. Two, what he would do, it's a secret that we do as musicians. When you're playing music for white people, this is what you do. For all young musicians out there, the secret to making white people feel good about the music is to speed the song up. Black people, we like the music 80 between 70 to 96 BPM. We'll go up to 110 if it's a good damn fast song. If you them house niggas in Chicago, y'all different. Y'all like it around 130. But if you want to get white people to dance, you speed that song up. They like it around 120 BPM. Like if it's a song, and that's what he did. He would speed the song up, don't put as much soul in it, and act like a woman. And that is what made Little Richard so famous. They didn't think he would try to have sex with their daughters. Because remember what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing says. Her theory, the Welsing theory applies to all areas of activity, not just casual sex. When they say that they have a fear of our genetic annihilation, and the biggest fear is male genitalia, they mean that. So when, as an artist, you cut your genitalia for them, they'll feel more relaxed around you. And as far as like the tempos go, I'll never forget. This is about 10 years ago. Hey, no, not that long. It's like 2015. Jazz at Drew. Every October here in LA in Watts, they have jazz at King Drew Medical Center, and it's on the grass. This particular show was great. This show had Sheila E., The West Coast Get Down, and Earth and Fire. Yeah, Earth and Fire came down to Watts, and they rocked that motherfucker too. I had just seen Earth and Fire 3 months before that in Thousand Oaks. Thousand Oaks is about 45 minutes north of LA, northwest. For people who watch some Kardashian shows, the Calabasas, it's out that way, but by about another 30 minutes past Calabasas, 20 minutes. So that's an all-white area. So when I saw Earth and Fire in Calabasas, the tempos, everything was a little faster. Like the songs, like That's the Way of the World, that usually rocks you at about 82 BPM. That's the way of the world. That's the way of the world. Blah, 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 blah. You played it for the white people, you don't rock it at 82 beats a minute. You push it up to about 92 beats a minute, 95. That's the way of the world. You always got to speed it up because psychologically, the way because it's all about how we move as a people. They don't really, like black people, we dance between the beat. We move between the beat. Black people who dance, black people, when they come, even if you're not dancing, even if you're sitting down, listening to music, you feel everything between the beats. The breach just bring you back to the snare, that just brings you back to the reality. Everything before that you're feeling. And that's how we listen to music. They don't feel music, they hear music. And they don't have much rhythm. So you gotta speed the song up so they can like we've noticed how they dance, they sort of just bounce around. You ever see like white people dance? Pay attention. They have like a real bouncing motion. They ain't really dancing. They just bouncing around. So you gotta speed the song up so that they can catch the bounce. Because if there's too much time between the beats, white people gonna get off rhythm. Like they can bounce maybe 8 or 9 bounces, but by that 10th bounce, they way off the beat because it's too fucking slow. So always remember that as a musician. If you wanna cross over to them, you have to speed your music up ever so slightly. But they really prefer music at about 130, 140, 160. Black people, we ain't going that high. Even when you get to black house, black techno music, they're not going that fast. Like black techno music and black house music is still slow. If you notice that, when you listen to a black house artist, their tempos are always gonna be slower than your white EDM DJs. Them white EDM DJs like that. That way them motherfuckers can take their ecstasy and just be bouncing around on like Black House is gonna be gonna be about 30 BPM slower. So I said all that to say, so when I was at Jazz at Drew, I was backstage and I talked to John Paris. John Paris is Earth and Fire's drummer. And I said when I saw him backstage, I said, I see what I saw exactly what you did. He was like, what you talking about? I said, when y'all was at Thousand Notes, y'all played everything 10 to 15 BPM faster than you normally do. But when you was here, you actually played it either at the tempo of the record or slightly slower than the record tempo. And he was like, exactly. He was like, when it's with them, man, you gotta speed the song up. And there's nothing wrong with that at the end of the day. You wanna at the end of the day, if people are paying, you wanna play the music to a way they're gonna like the most. So I said that to say, if you're in a town, if you're in a town that's multicultural like LA, pay attention to the venue your artists are playing. Same thing with Cool in the Gang. When I saw Cool in the Gang at the Nigga Festival, when other black acts was performing, everything was great. They played Summer Madness. They played all they funky music. Nigga, when I went to go see Cool in the Gang that same year at the Hollywood Bowl, they didn't play Summer Madness. They played them corny ass 80 Cool in the Gang songs. Joanna, I hate that fucking song. I want to slap the shit out of JT Taylor every time I hear that sorry ass Joanna song. They played that sorry ass Joanna song, and every song was fast. So don't be going to the concerts if the concert is if you think the audience is gonna be majority white, just expect the groove to be different. That's why I like Frankie Beverly and Maze. Frankie Beverly and Maze only play for niggas. They ain't got a crossover audience. Frankie Beverly and Maze is nigga music. Nigga music. It's gonna sound the same every time. He said that male temple. Yeah, that male temple. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, Tank versus Devin needs to happen. You're right about that. You're right about that. Then Shakur gets then have Shakur fight the winner or the loser. Yep. But yeah, that's how it is. Like you always gonna and then like Latinos, they like their music fast too. They be thinking they white. So they like their music a little bit faster. Here in LA, the Mexicans be thinking they white, so they like their music like white people. All that shit. I don't like that fast ass music. How you niggas feel? Y'all like that? What y'all like? Well, how y'all like y'all like that shit that bouncy ass music that they be playing, or y'all prefer it a little bit slower? I think one of the best commercials to illustrate that, they had a commercial about 10 years ago with Dr. Dre. It was a Dr. Pepper commercial. And what he did was that they was playing the music real fast, and Dr. Dre put like can of Dr. Pepper down on the turntable and slowed it down. That's exactly what that commercial was about. You motherfuckers play y'all music too goddamn fast. Like even not like even I'm saying like even our dance music, like even black people's party music, even our like not just Knee Deep by Funkadelic. That's 110 beats a minute. That's about as fast. Like when you listen to it's like a Leah Pharrell stuff when he was in his prime. Songs like Happy. What's I'm on my phone now, so I can't look it up. Happy is about as fast as a black song to get. Somebody like Google BPM of the song Happy. If I can guess, if I can guess Happy, what is that about 116 beats a minute? If I can guess, that's just me guessing. I might be way off. MJ music was funky. That shit was at the tempo. See, Michael Jackson jumped around. If you go back and listen to "You knocked me off of my feet now, babe," the way he made me feel, that was the blues. People don't understand. Michael played that song, "The Way You Make Me Feel," 160. Yeah, so that means Happy was really they played that in no, he said 126. Yeah, 160 sounds too fast. 126 sounds more like it. 126. I said 116, so 126. Okay, 126. Okay. In my mind, I was thinking 116, 120. Yeah, 120 is about as fast as we'll go. 126. We generally don't go faster than that in our music. But like yeah, New Orleans bounces pretty fast. But we play with a certain like we just have a different rhythm. I forgot I was saying some shit before that. I lost my goddamn train of thought. Yeah, but 126, that's and then like no, but then we got our booty shaking music. Black people got that like that booty shaking music. What's Luke? That booty shaking music is about what 140. Somebody look up hood rat, hoochie mama. What's that? You ain't nothing but a hoochie mama, hood rat. And big booty hole. Somebody look that up. That might be close to 160, or in between 140, 150. That might be somewhere around there. Bombs over Baghdad. That might be somewhere around there. But even that, when it's when it goes that fast, that Miami bass sound, people when we dance to it, if you notice, black people dance in halftime to that. Like it may be a part of the song where people like really going at the tempo, but usually when it gets that whole Miami bass sound, that faster tempo stuff, we generally dance in halftime to it. Look at it, just pay attention. So even though the song is at 160, niggas are dancing at 80. Now you will get some people that will get out there and they will stay at 160. But for the most part, when black people dance to like that Miami bass sound, when people are dancing, they're dancing in halftime. Um, but you compare that to like that white EDM techno shit. Them motherfuckers be bouncing up and down like a pogo stick. You said yeah, 147? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like 150, 140, 150. Yeah, that's what I was figuring somewhere there. Black people generally dance halftime to that, to a lot of that. Hmm. Like only thing the shit that get like jazz can get really fast, but jazz when jazz gets fast, it's no longer a dancing music. That's when like when jazz goes into cut time, you'll have a song at 90, you'll have a song at 210, 200, 190 BPM in jazz. It'll say 110 BPM cut, and cut time means double time, and you get them on that ride cymbal. That when jazz got that fast, it wasn't dancing music no longer at that point. You didn't dance to that. That was some shit that was just some genius. See, this is how cold them jazz greats were. Like when we created bebop, y'all may have heard me tell the story before, but we created bebop and then hard bop. That was jazz musicians being tired of white musicians taking our sound. So they said we're going to make a music so extremely hard to play that white people can't take it, and that's what bebop ended up being. That's why like there's certain forms of jazz, the avant-garde style of jazz that like no white artist, no white group has ever been able to do. They just act like that shit didn't exist. That's what that was about. I appreciate the fan. She was dope. I appreciate that. Yeah, yeah. So either way, this nigga said white folks like to slam dance. Y'all stupid. You can see what it is. Nah, 2 and 4 will make it halftime. No, what I mean when I say halftime, we're still dancing with all four bars. We dance between all four. We don't dance on them. We dance between them. The snare on the two and the four just reminds us where we at between the grooves. When I say halftime, that means the movements are slow, are half the time, half the tempo. So if you're talking about a loop song at 150, black people dance at 70. We dancing at 75. Here, why is this mother? Somebody's who is this bumping their music? How do you bump your music in your car? This motherfucker bumping their music and their car got phone speakers. Like, if you don't get these old Dell computer speakers out of here, you should. It should be a rule. Like, it should be a rule. You can't bump your music unless if you have like bullshit ass factory speakers in a 12-year-old car. Like, why is this motherfucker bump? Like, what the fuck are they doing with their door open? Bumping their fucking music. This shit's horrible. This motherfucker phone speaker sound like a landline. Y'all remember them old landline phones with the long wrinkled ass cord in the kitchen? Because the kitchen had the long ass cord, so you could talk on the phone with that and cook your eggs at the same time. This motherfucker's phone speaker sound like that old brick 1989 Zach Morris cell phone. Y'all remember the cell phones from Saved by the Bell, the big ass brick? That's how this motherfucker's car speaker sound. This motherfucker's car speaker sound like an alarm clock. If you don't get them alarm clock speakers out of here and turn that shit down, god damn. This nigga playing some old ass Justin Timberlake and Pharrell. If you don't get that old 2004 workout ass song out of here, nigga, this motherfucker's speakers, the fuck? This motherfucker's speakers sound like hearing aids. I don't have a hearing aid, but I'd imagine if I tried to play music through some hearing aids at volume 23, it wouldn't sound too good. I'm sure of it. God damn. This nigga right here. This motherfucker got Pine Owl amps, nigga, not Alpines. This nigga got Pine Owls. 2 for 1. Oh, what's up, Quan? Shit, Anglo Southern. I'm sorry. Niggas at Oxcore flow. I'm sorry. I was distracted, y'all. I'm not even reading what y'all saying. These motherfuckers. This motherfucker speakers. This nigga has 4 4s in his car, nigga. Nigga got 4 4-inch speakers and trying to play the shit loud, like he bumping. Like, nigga, you're not just like that song said, you ain't no G, nigga. If you don't turn that shit off, that motherfucker has Magnavox TV speakers and that shit. Remember like them old 1992 Magnavox TVs? The ones you see in the waiting room with the doctor? Remember them? The big belly TVs, they used to be in the waiting room, big ass Magnavox. And they had them 2 little 1-inch speakers. Well, this motherfucker had 4 of them hoes in their car. 4 of them 2-inch Magnavox speakers. What's up, Hard Tunes? I say he just left Twitter Spaces. See, I almost started a Twitter Space tonight, but like it's a lot of confusion in those Twitter Spaces. I'm glad you brought that up, Quan. There's a lot of confusion within Twitter Spaces. A lot of it, because one thing I've noticed with Twitter Space is given a microphone to people who ain't used to having attention. So the person that started the room may be somebody who's used to having attention, but the people who they be having as a co-host and the people who they be having speaking regularly in these rooms, you can tell it's the first time these motherfuckers had some attention. They said drive-through speakers. Yeah. That's the danger with Twitter Space. Twitter Space is a microphone to people who are not used to having a microphone. Let me tell you something about having a microphone. This is a great responsibility. And like this shit is still like I'm just now starting to get to the point to where it took me 2 years ago, a year and a half ago? Well, about 2 years ago now is when oh yeah, oh, it's my anniversary, y'all. Shit, I didn't even think about it. Hey, today, what's today? June 4th, right? I think it was June 6th was my first show. Damn, I forgot. Damn. God damn. This 2 years ago, either today or tomorrow. I think it was June 6th. 2 years ago to the date was when I got on YouTube for good. To start taking YouTube serious. And in 2 years, I'm up to like 11,500 followers, and that's what YouTube fucking with me for the last year. Like, whenever I got to 10,000 followers, YouTube just shut my shit down. As soon as I hit 10,000 followers, you niggas stop getting notifications. People been getting unsubscribed from my channel. I mean, YouTube been putting me through the ringer since I got to 10,000 followers. But this started 2 years ago. You know why? Because I started this YouTube channel in 2011. I post one video, and then since that one video had 3 views, I'd be like, man, fuck you too. And then I had another show. I had another show that I did called Sports and Things. Sports and Things was me, Larry, and an NBA player who shall remain nameless. Because the funny thing about it is now with my social media following, I'd be giving that nigga clout with what he don't have going on with all of his failed attempts at podcasting. So I'm gonna keep this NBA player's name nameless. And some of you here who may know, but I ain't gonna bring up the motherfucker's name. I had a show called Sports and Things. It was on Blog Talk Radio. Me, Larry Goodwill, y'all be seeing him in the chat room. Me, him, and this fill in the blank name play NBA player. And we used to talk sports. And my biggest show I had on that channel, I remember I did have one show that got like 83,000 views on Blog Talk. And that was the night the United States killed Osama bin Laden. And that was the same night like the Dallas Mavericks. I remember that was the same year the Dallas Mavericks were in the playoffs. I think that was the year they won the championship. So I got covered the game, and I talked about the whole Osama bin Laden thing. But outside of that, the show didn't really get much traction because I was the one doing all the work. And so the show went on off and on 2011, 2012. We would do like 10 episodes and then not do anything for like 6 months. Then do like 3 episodes, then not do anything for like 9 months. And then said NBA player, should they about to get somebody that set them fireworks? That same NBA player that I started this show off with went ahead and pulled some bullshit. Basically, I saw the format of Sports and Things. The cat that I started this show with. Hold on, let me let this goddamn ambulance go by. Like, nigga, you ain't even the real ambulance. You the ambulance supervisor, nigga. You the boss. You the snitch. Turn the fucking siren off. And you ain't. Man, I hate that shit. Man, it was the ambulance, the SUV one. You ain't even got no medical equipment in the back of that shit, nigga. Well, back to what I was saying. I was on Blog Talk. Oh, what's up, Jalen? I was on. So this dude, you would think, we was cool and everything. This motherfucker just pulled some bullshit. I ain't gonna go into details on the bullshit that was pulled, and it took the life out of the show. This same, this same motherfucker with goddamn shitty speakers is back in their car and they got their alarm going off. Oh Lord, I don't know if y'all hear that note. They back here with these goddamn Chuck E. Cheese speakers. Will you drive off with them fucking? This motherfucker got them miniature golf speakers. They're like the little speaker in the miniature golf in the clown mouth that plays that stupid ass song in the miniature golf. That's how this nigga speaker sound. But back to what I was saying. So said NBA player takes the whole idea of the show and gets a deal with Fox, like Fox Radio. It was either Fox Sports or ESPN. It was one of those two dick sucking networks. So, fuck you, Larry. See, he gonna Larry right now. Dude, he's talking about Larry. I'm telling them about sports and things, about how it was me, you, and the irrelevant ass nigga that was a bench warmer in the NBA, name who shall remain nameless. So, so the show we had it. We could never really get the show going consistently. It would always be something that would come up, and usually the thing that would come up would be underlying NBA player, his schedule, and that really kept messing up the momentum of the show. So then some bullshit happened. Some bullshit happened, and then the show, we stopped fucking with such and such player. So me and Larry start in like 2016. We started sports and things again. We tried to, at least. No, we tried it like a couple times. We tried to in 2014. Didn't work out. Like we do like 3 episodes, then wouldn't do none for like a year. We tried again like in 2016. No, just wasn't there. So I didn't really fuck with but I guess at the end of the day, it wasn't time. It wasn't time for me to talk. Nigga said it wasn't Keith Claus. Hey, Hearttunes, man, I keep telling you, email. I have a newer email address for you, Hearttunes. Email info@DwannB.com. Just email that and title it Sample Packs. Info@DwannB.com. You said it's too late to ask for a shot of tequila? You funny, Quan, huh? Well, so so me and Larry, we tried the show. It just didn't work out. I said all that to say I don't think it worked out because it really wasn't time for me to speak yet. I was really still finding my voice. But what I did do, salute to my boy Mike Robertson. He was on the show last month. Go look up that show we did together on that advice we give to younger generation. He had a show, and I at Morris Media at Poetess Studio. Y'all know Corey's always talking shit about Poetess. That should be funny as hell too. But Mike had a show at Poetess Studio, and I started like in 2016, 2017. It started the night Trump was elected, and so I just would be a guest on his show. And when I was a regular guest, and I had time to really learn how to bounce off other people. That show, all those episodes are still up on YouTube. We do it every Tuesday, and Larry will call me. Hey, Larry, how was that Mike show? No, Larry, don't be honest. Don't be honest. Don't be honest, Larry. Don't answer that question. I mean, to be honest, don't answer that question, Larry. Act like I didn't ask you that question. Anyway, me and Mike did a show together every Tuesday, and it would be like 5 views, nigga. Like we would feel good if we had 79 views. If we had 79 views, we'd be like, shit, we almost got 100 views. So yeah, Larry, did not answer that question. Um, but me and Mike did that for 2 years straight. And then we did like a hiatus, and then we did it again for like another. We did it up until like 2019, and then Craig called me in 2020. We started doing Craig Facts, and I was doing. And so like in 2019, I started my radio show once a week. I was at this radio station, and that show would get like, I would be happy if I had 15 viewers on Facebook, 30. I would be happy if I had 30. Salute to T Dynamite. She's not in the chat, but she was watching back then when I was at this station called Accelerated Radio, and I would be getting like all of like 15, 20 views. Larry would call in from Houston, and Larry was my co-host from Houston, and I dealt with 20 views, 5 views on those shows I was doing, but I was really learning my voice. And I was also getting older to where now I not only had, like, I was always born with a certain level of wisdom. But now, as I get into my late 30s, now I got experience and I've been around a few times so I can speak more clearly. I'm less judgmental. Like getting on camera every day, I never wanted to be, not every day, but like once a week podcasting. I never wanted to be that fake dude. I never wanted to be somebody, because there's a lot of people out here that put on characters to get online. That's cool. I'm not judging it, but I never wanted to be a character. I was like, I'm gonna be me. Now sometimes I'm gonna put extras like on Craig Facts. I'm gonna put extras on it, but and I do it here sometimes. I'm a crack. I like I go in and out with y'all. Y'all hear me? Y'all see me? I'll be serious like I am right now, and then I'll go right into a stand up mode. That's just me being an artist and being fun. Like I like going into stand up mode sometimes. Um, but that's just stand up mode is me, a more heightened me. It's still me, but it's me with a few extras on it. So it took me years to run my mouth, and I'm happy for 30 views. I'm thanking T Dynamite for watching me for being one of my 5 viewers on Facebook. My boy Reggie, he be coming here sometimes. Larry will be there. And so it took years, but to tell you the truth, those older shows that had 30 views, that's all they deserved. I wasn't good. Like the show wasn't good. Like it takes a while to kind of get good. So I'm not mad. I wasn't mad at. I never got mad at people who was like, "Oh man, ain't nobody supporting me, man. My Facebook show only got 5 views." It was like, no, the shit deserved 5 views. It's not good. And then and so the coronavirus hit. That made me be like, I think I'm gonna leave the station, and I think I'm gonna just do this on YouTube. So in June of 2020, I had 35 YouTube subscribers. June, like literally 2 years ago today, I had 35 YouTube subscribers. 35. 35. 2 years ago today, 35 subscribers. And Kenneth Berry was one of them. Larry was one. T Dynamite was another. And I kind of forget everyone else, but I remember those three. And then 2 years ago today, I decided to, you know what? I'm gonna take YouTube serious. And if I ever get to 1,000 views, I said if I ever get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, because back then you need at least 1,000 YouTube subscribers to go live. I don't know how it is now. I say if I ever get to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna do like Q&As with them like once a week or twice a week, maybe every day if I had a time. I was like, if I ever get to 1,000 viewers, I mean 1,000 subscribers. I remember like this time 2 years ago, 1,000 subscribers seemed like a monumental task. I was like, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get 1,000 subscribers. But what happened was I just stuck with it, and then and with the help of Craig Facts, with the help of me going on 5150, guests like Judge Joe Brown, Randy Short, and then really my persistence. We being persistent with it, that's what got it to where it is now. But why did I say all that? I said all that is to say because whenever you have my point of view, these are my ethics, and I cannot put my ethics on other people. All I can do is speak for myself. My point of view is when you're given a mic and people have an open ear to what you have to say. That's for you to give them your best. And if you don't know, you don't know. But if but it's best to educate myself and to be as much up as much game as I possibly can be, and be 100 with the people, and learn. That's just my point of view. So it takes, it's a certain respect for the mic you have when you grind it the way I've grinded for the last 11 years on this shit. You know, from not believing in myself, taking 2 years off, to wanting to goddamn beat somebody's ass for taking my idea, to all kind of range of emotions. So I said all that to say, I go to Twitter space and you hear people who you can literally hear it in their voice when they talk. They're not used to talking to a lot of people. They may have a friend here and there and they talk to a little group of people, a little circle, but they're not used to having 30 people at one time hear them speak. They're not used to hearing 200 people at one time hear them speak. And they just say whatever for attention. It's like, okay, now I've been into the space for 6 months now. Now I got all these people who are used to hearing my voice in these other people's rooms. Now I'm gonna start my room, and now that I got a little bit of attention, I'm gonna be the most off code motherfucker I can be. And I'm like, really? So I said that to say I really, 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 really watch my Twitter space time. I really do. Like I listen if Tariq is talking, I listen. I and brothers from Secure the Tribe, shouts out to Sonny from Secure the Tribe. He the one that does that rap mix when I do my intro. From Secure the Tribe, Mel, they cool. Those two brothers, I haven't seen nothing but 100 from them two. But and it's other people I can't remember their names like that off the top of my head. But it'd be other people in them Twitter spaces. It's like, and you always running your mouth in somebody else's room. Now I hear you talk on your own. I'm like, nigga. In the heart to email. I don't know what's take to a Twitter link. Just email info@DwannB.com. That's my info at DwannB.com. Email me and then type in sample packs in the subject line, and I will send you like 3 or 4 loops, 2 or 3 loops. He said secure the tribe and is arguing with other FBAs and tailors in Twitter space right now. Yeah. And here's another thing. Here's a question I have for you people that be doing Twitter spaces. Like, why y'all be listening to people with that started an account in 2022 and have 0 followers? Like sometimes I was in a room this morning and some dudes was talking and it sounded like they was talking some cool stuff. But I click on the profile. It's like profile created March 2022, following 34, 0 followers. I'm like, why is this person talking? Like, why y'all even allowing somebody? That's an obvious agent. You know how many agents got to be on Twitter space right now talking? Why you got 2 followers? And like, even in the comment section, like when like ever since I put that Black American tree up, I've been getting a lot of interaction from others. That's true, Kurt. You're right, Quan. Let people talk long enough, they'll eventually reveal themselves. Yeah. Like, y'all hear me. I've been around, I've been on Twitter not Twitter, on YouTube now consistently for 2 years. Ain't a damn thing about the only thing that's changed about me is I've gotten more open with certain mystical, spiritual shit that I do, like reading cards, and I've integrated more esoteric information to within my information about Earth. That's probably the only thing I've integrated more elements of me, but there's still elements of me. But I still have whole dimensions I've never shown you guys because it's unnecessary. But every dimension I show is all me. That's the only difference. Like I'm integrating more. I'm integrating more with the spiritual and the esoteric in what I do, and I didn't do that for a long time out of fear because when you start to get like that, it can turn people off. People thinking, "Oh, here we go with this," and with that metaphysical woompty wamps and boomty bamps. But I can't. At the end of the day in life, you can't let fear be. If you let fear be the decision maker in what you do, you're never going to explore your, the how great you are as a person. You got to do whatever you do. It got to be from an affirmative point of view. So, like, I made the calculated decision of, like, you know what? When it comes to how I deal with life, how I see life, I'm a Gemini. I can see things on multiple levels. Like, I see life on a physical level and I see it on a spiritual level. And I synthesize the two. Like, science is the physical explanation of spirituality. Most people see science and spirituality as 2 different things. It's not. Math is spirituality. Geometry. That's why they call it sacred geometry. The angles of life is explained through geometry. Like life, the sciences explain the things that we can't. And so since I see life that way, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can start bringing that shit online. And if people don't like it, they'll leave, and that's fine too. I don't, everything ain't for everybody. But for those who do see life and can break it down like that, who have an appreciation for it, they'll have a deep appreciation for it. And I'd rather have less people who can, who I can break things down to on multiple levels because that satisfies me. That's how I like to intake information. So since I like bringing in information, I like teaching it that way. And if it's too much for some people, then no judgment to them. Everybody got their own thing. She said, why? If you know I'm a Gemini, everybody tell who they are. I don't know. Don't they? I always hear from people, I'm an Aquarius. I'm hearing that shit all the time. I'm a Cancer. I'm a Gemini, god damn it. Hmm. Got the police driving by all slow. What the fuck are they doing? That's Hawthorne PD too. Them niggas don't belong over here. They out their jurisdiction. Shit. You're not in Hawthorne, sir. This is not Hawthorne. Fuck out of here. She said, exactly. You don't know I'm a Taurus. Hey, man, I love, man. But, like, yeah, going back to Twitter space. Twitter space is just, I'm just seeing a lot of people who are not used to attention, getting attention. And it's funny. And it's funny and it's concerning because it's some bullshit ass arguments going on in Twitter spaces. Like, I'm at the point, like think about this, black people. I'm at the point to where I'm done arguing with Africans and Caribbeans because it's African and Caribbean people that are regulars that are in this chat that be in my chat room. I have Caribbean moderators. They know what's up. The Caribbean by now, everyone like I think the arguments were necessary over the last year to expose how they really feel about us. I'm not saying it wasn't necessary, but I think we're about a year now into a lot of these Caribbean people and African people being very open about their disgust with the FBA, such and such movement. We're about a year into that, a little over a year, maybe 2 years into that. It's very clear how the ones who don't like us think. So I think my point of view is after this last year of exposure, I'm done arguing with them. I say what I say, and if people don't like it, I just block. I don't know. Just get away from me. I want to talk to my people. That's this is about. Like look on Twitter. I had some publication with like 38,000 Twitter followers retweet my Black Music Family tree. I had them retweet the tree, and like it's been like over the last 2 days, it's been a lot of others jumping in making comments. Like I'm seeing white people talk about, well, Black American music only was good when it got fused with European harmonies. I'm reading this shit like, since the fuck when has the words Europe and harmony ever been said in the same sentence? Y'all don't even like each other. Like, when the fuck did Europeans give melanated people harmony on any level? Whether it be musically, physically, spiritually? When did they ever give anyone harmony? I'm dealing with Latinos talking about, well, black music, talking about something I don't feel, it doesn't feel good with you using race as the base for this. I'm like, well, race is the reason you don't know about 99% of what black people did. Everything's about in America is about race. I'm having these like Latinos and people from the Caribbean talking about it shouldn't be about race. And it's just like I could not have done this project 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago I would have been cussing everybody out. I would have been talking about their mamas. I would have been talking about nigga anything I could find, I would have been cussing motherfuckers out. You're right, and I also I would have been on one hand cussing people out, and on the other hand, just not as stomped down. So sometimes things come out and to you at a certain age or at a certain time because at that time you're ready for it. Like now in my life, I'm ready to speak to a lot of people. Even though I got a degree in public speaking and communication studies when I was 23, it takes more than knowing. It takes more than just having the gift for gab. You got to also have a certain respect for it. The way, at least for me, other people got their own thing that they do, but the way I see it, you got to have a certain level of respect for it. And what I see on Twitter Spaces, people that don't have respect for having an audience of people listening to them. But Quan, I had to believe. No, really, at the end of the day, I appreciate that, Quan. At the end of the day, I had to believe it first. All those years that I was waffling, not doing the show for 2 years, then doing two shows, and then not again for 9 months, I didn't believe it. So even though I had the gift of gab and I had been doing stand-up comedy and my years doing stand-up comedy, I never really bombed. I've always been funny, but I still didn't believe in myself like that. You gotta separate your emotions from you gotta separate emotions from disagreements. Like the point is the point. How you feel about the point is irrelevant. So it took years for me to really just to really just get my thoughts together to the point to where I can sound the way I do right now. And it took years of practice too. It took years of five viewers. It took years of posting a video and that shit having 3 views, and two of them views was yours, and 2 likes, your like and somebody else's. But it's like when you go all them years without no one listening, shit, yo, you do be questioning yourself like, shit, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? God damn. That's what me and Mike did. We was doing that shit for 2 years. And 2 years later, nigga, we'd be happy if 100 people watched. Like, god damn. Yeah, you can't get mad. You can't allow your emotions to overtake these arguments. And me, I know how to get to people's emotions, but I don't take advantage. I don't do it. And there are certain ways I know how to tap into you guys' emotions, and I don't mean anything back, but I still won't do it. I still don't. I'm telling you right now, I still don't. I'm probably saying too much, but I still don't be. I don't use all my powers on y'all. I know that there are certain things I can do spiritually to magnetize people. I don't do that. Because right now, I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be 100. I just want to be 100, and whoever rock with it, rock with it. Whoever don't. But I'm responsible for what I have. Like a lot of what I have, like I know how to make people speak. Make people listen. I know how to command attention. I know how to be charming. I know how to crack jokes. I know how to improv. I know how to go in and out of being serious and being funny. I know all that stuff really well. But I don't. I don't. How can I? There's certain to me. There's certain responsibility with that. That I see others with the same ability, and they use that, and they use it for like ulterior motives and shit. And I can't do that. Like I can't. I can't do that. That shit would fuck my head up. I remember when I used to do loans. I'll never forget. I gave somebody a bad loan that I knew they shouldn't have had. I did that shit one time in my loan life when I was doing loans. And that shit stayed on my mind for well over a year. Like I had a heart, like I would think about that bad loan that I gave somebody. I thought about that for a good year, maybe 2 years. I never stopped thinking about that loan. Like I couldn't do that. Like I gave one person one and then for like the back high end pay. I did that shit one time. That shit fucked my head up, man. You said because I'm fact based? Oh, I appreciate that. You right last name first. It was 30 to 40 people in the chat, yeah. When I first started. Yep. Actually, that was 30 40 people chat came later. When I first started, shit, the chat was like five. The chat would be Larry, T Dynamite, my boy Reggie Edwards, and like a couple other people. But you know what's funny about cards? Like I told y'all, like I'm learning cardology. So I'm in my cardology course. I do this twice a week, my cardology course. So what I learned this week in cardology, my teacher was reading me and reading my card because my card is coming up. And me and my dad, we the same card. My card is a king of clubs. And so we were talking about it, and she was like, "You're a king of clubs." She's like, "You king of clubs cannot lie." I was like, "Yeah, the fuck we can." No, she was like, "Lie without paying a consequence." I was like, "Yeah, you're kind of right about that." Because it's not like the King of Clubs people are just these honest A's. I'm not saying that. The way a King of Club person lie is they'll lie through omission. They just won't tell you something. And lies of omission can oftentimes be the most dangerous lies. So I'm not here to say if you meet someone who's a King of Clubs, they're always honest. I'm not here to say that. What I am here to say is when you meet a person that's a King of Clubs, if you ask them, they're going to tell you the truth. They may omit some shit. They may not be 100% factual with something. But if you know what to ask, they're going to tell you the truth. And I was like, hey, how did you know that? God damn, these cards are so accurate. What's up, Glendon? I appreciate that. Yeah, you're right about that, Quan. It's all about the process of growth. But really, it just comes down to, because, like, I got in, like, shouts out to King Simon. I'll go ahead and get a reading from him. King Simon, he gave me my first numerology reading like 3.5 years ago. Damn near 4 years ago now. And when it comes like that kind of shit, numerology, astrology, cardology, all of the ancient sciences, they're all astrological and numerical references to you. That's where the magic in astrology is. That's where the magic in numerology is. That's where the magic in cardology. When I read your cards, I'm reading you. And it helps you get a better understanding of yourself. And the way I look at things, if you really want an understanding of the world around you, you get all of that through understanding yourself. When you know yourself, the world around you starts to make more sense. And what doesn't make sense, you can learn to let it go and move on to the next. But that all that shit comes through knowledge of self. That's what that comes through. That comes through knowledge of self. And like all of those sciences help you get a better knowledge of self. That's why I recommend them so much. Yeah. And that's another thing I said about I want to make my page. And whatever we talk about, I don't mind talking about today's gossip, but whatever we talk about on my page, we gonna try to have some kind of goddamn solution in that shit. You dig what I'm saying? We gonna try to have some kind of lesson in that motherfucker. Something. If we do talk about something, we're gonna try to figure out whatever gossip is going on. Like I talked about DL Hewley and Monique. I'm not gonna have no show where I talk about he's right and this and that. And of course, I'm gonna talk about shit and crack my jokes, but nigga, we gonna get a lesson out of this shit. We ain't gonna just be talking to talk. That's another thing. This somebody put this nigga Amir is blasted again. Somebody, hey, Amir, we love you, brother, but I'm gonna have Quan time you out for a little bit. This brother Amir, I love Amir. Whenever I do my show in the daytime, Amir be on point in the chat room. Anytime I do these late night Q&As, this motherfucker Amir be blasted. This nigga be blasted, just talking anything. And then he'll be in the chat room the next day and be like, man, I was saying a lot of weird shit last night. Like, yes, the fuck you were, brother. Anytime that motherfucker, hey Amir, man, like, I get that you like that bottle, and that's cool. I'm not saying don't drink, but nigga, find out what it is making you drink to the point you type all this weird ass shit in the chat room, brother. You might need to change your drug. Have you tried reefer? Have you tried reefer? And if one joint ain't enough, smoke two. And if two ain't enough, smoke three. He said something stronger than liquor, Quan. Yeah, that nigga probably. I don't know, man. He on that. I know you ain't taking ecstasy and getting on the goddamn internet. If you taking ecstasy, my brother, you supposed to be partying and fucking. Last thing you need to be doing is taking in Thiz pills and getting up in the chat room. Don't do that, brother. You gonna Thiz out. You need to go party, drink a bunch of water, and fuck on something. Don't come up in the chat room on them Thizzes. I know it can't be mushrooms because mushrooms don't get you high. I wish mushrooms did get you high every week like that. I'd be on mushrooms every fucking Saturday if it did that. But I'm drying out from mushrooms right now because I'm gonna do mushrooms. My next time I do mushrooms, I'm gonna do them. They having a Juneteenth festival at the Hollywood Bowl. I'm gonna be at that. That's the next time I'm gonna do shrooms at that concert. Earth and Fire on stage. She said, Squan said, salt rocks. Yeah, no, we're not gonna block our brother Amir from the chat room. No, we not. We like Amir. Amir is a good dude. But there's something about these nights, this brother be. I don't know what the fuck. That nigga huffing. That's what he doing. This nigga huffing Lysol, huffing Pine Sol. That's what he doing. This nigga got like 3 bottles of Pine Sol open and just sniffing away, sniffing and typing and sniffing. This motherfucker sniffing and typing Pine Sol. And then when he done with the Pine Sol, he going over to Fabuloso. That nigga like 1 bottle of purple Fabuloso and 3 bottles of Pine Sol and 1 lemon Pine Sol. He just huffing away, huffing and typing and huffing. Yeah, that's it. Just put him in ice. Just put him in ice. This nigga got one headlight. This nigga's burning out with one headlight. All this goddamn. You fix your headlights and that muffler too. God damn. Another motherfucker ain't got their headlights on. You said I was wondering what was up with him. Yeah. Yeah, nah, the Juneteenth concert, and this isn't even everybody. It's Anthony Hamilton, Earth and Fire, The Roots, Mary Mary. Um, it's a few more dope. Lucky Day, and then they got fucking Billy Porter. I don't know why the fuck Billy Porter on that show. I'm like, if y'all want to have a sissy on that show, put it on Tevin Campbell. We got Tevin Campbell. We got Freddie Jackson. There's a whole bunch of sissies we can put on that show. Why Billy Porter? So I'm telling y'all right now, and if y'all at the Hollywood Bowl for that Juneteenth festival show, nigga, whenever Billy Porter's on stage, come holler at me in the smoking patio. Come smoke with him. Nigga. That's exactly where I'll be when Billy Porter gets on stage. I'll be I'll be microdosed on shrooms, and I will be at the smoking patio. I'm sitting in the box seats, so I'm not that far from the smoking patio. You're right, everybody should walk up and start singing. I appreciate that, Eric Witt. Uh, man, Billy Porter ain't got one song. That one song he got out there sucks. Hell yeah, and I love my Hollywood Bowl. And the cool thing about the Hollywood Bowl is you can bring your own liquor and you can bring your own food. I'm so goddamn high. I just finished tapping my phone, my shorts, my sweats, looking for my phone. Like that, like no, it's dark right now, so y'all can't tell. But that really just happened. I tapped my left pocket. I tapped my right pocket. Cause I'm thinking I'm about to check the lineup so I can tell you what the lineup is. I'm like, let me check my phone real quick so I can check the lineup for that Hollywood Bowl show. Nigga, my phone's in my hand and I'm talking to y'all. The fuck, Dwan? What's up, Biz Marty? Every chick Biz Marty date look like Monique. I bet you. My boy Biz Marty, goddamn, in the house. Yeah, Justin, that's how high I am right now. I smoke like, I'm out of my Seattle weed, but I got this weed connect out here. This is my first time smoking this shit. He got me. This shit's fire. Like, I for real just tapped both my pockets. Like, let me check my phone for this Hollywood Bowl lineup so I can tell them what the lineup is. But no, I'm on my phone talking to y'all. Anyway, I'm not high enough to know that Billy Porter sucks. I'll tell you that goddamn much. Ain't enough weed in the world to make his music sound good. He be all over pronouncing his words when he sing. That nigga look crazy. Like, check out a Billy Porter interview. Just see, crazy is in the eyes. Just look at that nigga's eyes. Billy Porter looks like he's just ready to tell. He has that look. Like, he's the kid that always took. Like, they didn't dislike Billy Porter because he was gay. They disliked him because he was always the one telling. You be over in the corner, somebody is sneaking by a Playboy or get a Playboy from their uncle house, and y'all be trying to look at the Playboy that somebody stole from under his uncle's bed, and Billy Porter be the one. I'm telling. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. That's where all his ass whoopings came from when he was a kid. It wasn't because he was gay. It's because he was snitching. That nigga looked like a I'm telling. That nigga's face, the way his eyebrows are structured, the way his cheekbones are structured, he has like a face structured for the phrase "I'm telling." Look at him. He shouldn't be doing that. I'm fucking no Billy Porter. So yeah, I'm telling you right now, if y'all at that stage, if y'all at that show at the Hollywood Bowl, I will be there. Come kick you in the smoking patio whenever Billy Porter's on stage. I'll be really nice that at that point. But I'll be on a patio. With the Hollywood Bowl, man, you can smoke your weed, you can bring your own food, you can bring your own liquor. Only thing you can't take is a gun, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. We don't need no guns in the places for heavenly fun. That's where I be. Hollywood Bowl. And that show's like from like 4 to 11. It's like a damn mostly all day show. I love shit like that. Nigga, and I got my box seats. I mean I'm gonna have a table. That shit about to be hella fun. It's about to be hella fun. He said that's the face he makes when he's biting his pillow. You ain't shit, Eugene. Oh shit. You niggas are stupid. Yeah, Quan, you ever come to LA? Come in the summertime. Go to the Hollywood Bowl. Like I've been going, me and my wife been going to Hollywood Bowl for well over 20 years now. I still don't get used to that. I still never take it for granted. Like I went to go see Chappelle, but Chappelle we were sitting kind of far out where we used to sit before we had the money to afford box seats. But now, nigga, I'm looking forward to Juneteenth. Nigga, all that goddamn music, I will be microdosing on shrooms that day. Yeah, Billy Porter, that motherfucker right there. And it's a few other acts on that show that day. It's like a little. It's gonna be an orchestra that plays, like the only all black orchestra. Never heard of them before, but I'm gonna be great to hear them because I love orchestra chamber music. That's our music too, by the way. That's our music too, by the way. Orchestra music, chamber music. The Moors brought that. The Moors brought that. And on top of that, man, I bought a bunch of Clyde Winters books. And Clyde Winters also has like a bunch of like PDFs, research PDFs. And I've gotten a fuck ton of those recently. And I've been reading that stuff on the black presence in Europe up until literally like 400 years ago. Man, it's all kinds of pictures and shit. Like, when last year when Runoko Rashidi died, I bought a bunch of his books. Just, because you know how they do. They be sending shit out of print when a black man die. So last year, I bought like two of like a whole bunch of Runoko Rashidi's books. So I've been reading them books on like the black presence in Europe, and then reading like Dr. Clyde Winters on all the black people that were in Europe. I'm like, okay, it makes sense now. These was the motherfuckers with that chamber music. Yeah, so when you come to that orchestra, that all that, nigga, that's our music too. And what I'm seeing right now on social media, on Twitter, with these people who aren't from the B1 sector, now they're interacting with the music tree. They're taking major issue with a black person, with black people claiming our shit. But I'll tell you this, none of them are saying it ain't true. Ain't nobody saying that. Ain't nobody that's out of it's been well over 1,000 people that have seen that damn tree now. Ain't nobody said it's a lie. They've either said they've either tried to put themselves in the mix or say they've either tried to put themselves in the mix or say, hey, it shouldn't be about race. But ain't nobody said it's a lie. And they're not used to that. They're not used to a black person claiming what we have, especially something as bold claim as music, because our effect on music is undeniable. Like no one can deny it. Were y'all watching that Cambosa's Devin Haney fight tonight? Go look at the go if you haven't. Go back and look at it on ESPN. When Devin Haney's name was first announced, and they started playing DMX, that fight was in Australia. Look at how the people were moving and dancing. Australia looked like 1998 Black America. They wearing Dodger caps. They throwing up signs. They dancing to DMX and this is Australia. They knowing every word to DMX. Go back and look when Devin Haney's name was announced. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at Tariq about that. I would when he gets the museum going. I definitely would put it in the museum. I definitely would, and actually, I would actually get an artist to paint it. I actually have my one of my tenants is an artist. He's gonna paint me a canvas of it for me, and I'm gonna have that, and I'm gonna hang it in my man cave in my garage. I might hang it here in the house, but I'm gonna have my tenant paint me on a canvas that tree. And if Tariq wants it in the museum, of course I holler at him. But if he does want it in the museum, I'd have the artist paint an even bigger one and have it hand painted. Yeah, one thing about the tree is also about to become it's going to become interactive on instanceandashtrays.com. I was actually talking to my web guy about that today. I just got to start, like I'm ready about it when I put that tree up for sale. Man, y'all support it because the money I make off that tree, I'm using it to build more things. Like I'm going to make the tree as I start getting money in from selling the tree, the posters, the T-shirts, and the canvas. Oh, matter of fact, my canvas came in today. The canvas is dope. The canvas is dope. The canvas is dope. Like it came in today. My sample version of my canvas print. The canvas of the tree is beautiful. I can't wait to put this shit up for y'all. But as I bring the money in from the tree, I'm going to put it right back into the Incense and Ashtrays project, and I'm going to make the tree interactive. That level of coding ain't cheap. So I'm literally, as I sell these products, I'm putting the money right back into making it bigger and better. And I'm going to put the tree on the website, and I'm going to have it to where when you click on each genre, it tells you the story of the tree, like where it came from. How you doing today? That's the plan for the tree. When you click, like when you let's say when you click on bebop, I'm going to explain how bebop evolved from a mixture of what was going on in the swing era and the stride piano era. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to explain the influences, who are the major names in that genre you should look for, and also what genre that inspired next. And then that's going to go to hard bop. I'm going to explain hard bop. Like everything you see on the tree, I'm going to have a box explaining it. So all of that's going back on the website. But that costs a few $1,000s to get done. So I'm like, man, it it'll be on the website. I was hoping it'd be on the website today. It probably won't be up until Monday because my web guy's out of town till Monday. So it'll probably be up on the site Monday. I may put it up on if like I wanted to have it up last night, but like Joe, there was like two genres that I didn't have on the tree, so I had to put it in there, and it was like a couple genres. It was two things. It was that, and and also the copy that I got from my graphic designer. It had like the logo in a weird place, and I didn't want that on the T-shirt, so I had to have him make a few changes. I got the email, but I haven't looked at it yet. If the email I got has those changes done, then I'm going to put the T-shirt up for sale on the Hotepish site tomorrow. It'll be up for sale on Instagram and on Hotepish, and then I'll have the incense and ashtray set up probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm really trying to direct the traffic to the incense and ashtray site. Yeah, poster too. I have I got a sample of the poster also. I haven't got my sample T-shirt yet because this T-shirt I'm upgrading to a higher quality T-shirt, so the cost will be a little more than the other T-shirts, but that's only because it's a higher quality T-shirt. It's a little thicker, and it handles being washed better. The other T-shirts, they're all good. Like the Glitty, the one T-shirt they use the Glitty in, those are hella thick, and they come out well in the wash too. I like the T-shirts that I use, but you know how nigga get, man. Shit, you start upgrading, man. When it comes to business, whatever you do, as you keep doing that shit, man, I'm upgrading my shit. I'm always gonna upgrade my shit. However I start anything is not gonna be how I finish it. So like for this, I think this family tree is so important. Like nah, I need a higher quality T-shirt. But the canvas is dope. I'm glad y'all brought that up. The canvas print is dope, and so is the poster. I got a copy of the poster. The poster print is thick as hell. Like it's really thick. It's a very high quality poster. So I'm gonna sell them both rolled and also framed. So you can get them either already framed or you can get them without the frame. Yeah. So I'm upgrading the quality of the t-shirts. I'm just like I said, I haven't put that up yet because I've been waiting to get the samples back. I got the sample of the poster. The quality's great. I'm gonna keep that same poster, and I got the sample of the canvas. The quality is great. I just haven't gotten the sample of the T-shirt yet. You said pause. Pause for what? Yeah, y'all hit the Cash App. Hit the Cash App. I could be out Ubering and making a little extra money right now, but I'm here talking to y'all. That's the other shit that I started back recently. I got that same loud ass car with one light. God damn. That's another thing I started back recently. Like 2 weeks ago, I Ubered. That shit was fun. Ubering is cool when you don't have to do it. But I was like, I Ubered like 2 weeks ago, and I Ubered like around the time of the Super Bowl, and I was like, okay, whatever money I make, I'm throwing that right back into ads. And like now with all this shit, so like when I Uber, I'm like, okay, whatever I make, I'm gonna double that, and that's what I'm gonna spend. That's what I'm gonna spend on ads. What's up, show? Yeah, I started back Ubering a couple weeks ago just for extra money that I throw right back into the business. And I'm really a lot of that ready for this incense and ashtray. That y'all gonna see the new incense and ashtrays website is gonna be up next week. It's gonna have the family. It's gonna have the music tree. It's gonna have the podcast organized, the breakdowns. I'm gonna have a I'm gonna be having talking about classic albums. Nigga, the new incense and ashtrays website. That's just gonna be great. Concert reviews. Like when I go to my concerts, I'll be doing official reviews on the website. All that. God damn. Yeah, the landing page for incense and ashtrays. Appreciate that, Quan. The landing page up with the shop. All that shit's gonna be up next week. And then, because we're really pushing Black Music Month, like this is Black Music Month, so I'm gonna have a whole bunch of articles and shit I'm doing for Black Music Month. So that means I'm pushing my book off into July. I'm gonna put on my book. My book is for the most part done now. I'm gonna put that up for sale in July. The book, but during June we celebrating Black Music Month, and that's where it's at. So I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. Tomorrow I'm gonna have Randy Short on. We're gonna talk about music. We're gonna talk about the black people's influence on Caribbean music and our influence on music out of in England. And we're gonna talk about how Johnny Nash. We're gonna talk about different artists who influenced the British sound and the white American sound. Black artists. Me and Dr. Randy Short, we're gonna break that down tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna do it like at like 10 or 11 in the morning LA time. I'm gonna see your schedule now. I'll let y'all know. All right, I'll holler at y'all.